Welcome to Shysen773. Thank you so much for checking out my video. For those checking out my video for the first time, I just want to say welcome in. Thank you so much for viewing my video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, I would truly appreciate it. For those that have been here the whole time and all of my new subscribers, I just want to say thank you so much for your subscriptions, for your likes, for your comments. They truly do go a long way. Today's video is going to be kind of a haul video. So I've been kind of MIA for about a month, and that's due to a lot of different things. One, I unfortunately had a death in the family. Then I also ended up going on vacation. After going on vacation, then I ended up getting a new job. But then, of course, after I got the new job, I got sick. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to ask you all to bear with me. My voice is kind of going in and out, but I was really excited to just try to get a video out to you all. So appreciate your patience and appreciate you all sticking with me. Very, very cool of you all. I did a live video on Thursday where my voice was just going in and out also. Did that with Lulu. We did it on Dreamhouse Ikiryo. Dreamhouse, of course, is one of my favorite fragrance lines. I have a lot of different fragrances from Dreamhouse. Ended up purchasing 3, so I wanted to talk about those 3. But I will leave a link up above as well if you haven't gotten an opportunity to see any of the live videos that Lulu and I do. So today I'm gonna talk about the 3. The 3 that I want to talk about are Vanilla Opi-Oud. So I'm gonna talk about this one first. This one is a very nice, dark, rich, woody gourmand is what Vincent from Dreamhouse says about this fragrance. The notes for this include oud, black oud, amaretto, vanilla, costus, magnolia, pink lotus, musk, opium, crème brulee, and nightshade. So with all of those notes, what does that smell like? This smells like a kind of sweet vanilla, but not overly sweet. I sprayed it on my skin earlier. I'll go ahead and spray a little bit now. But it almost has kind of like this fruit punchy sweetness to it, but then the vanilla kicks in and the oud, it's very, very smooth, very nice, and again, gourmandish. Very, very smooth. I really enjoy this one. Looking forward to wearing this one. I think this is easily worn in cooler weather. Currently now in Chicago, it's in the 70s, but it's kind of a cool breeze. So it almost feels like it's like a higher 60-ish to a lower 70, but perfect weather to wear this in. Again, this one is Vanilla Opi-Oud. The next fragrance is called Sad Cypress. So this one also is a new fragrance from Vincent's line that he has out. This one is said to be a fresh, deep, aromatic chypre. So what I get from this fragrance, which there are no notes online for this, but I get an old school Burberry Brit, as if it were a gourmand fragrance. So you have a lot of different, it's fresh. It also has a little bit of a sweetness to it, but it has kind of an old school meets new school type of fragrance. Very nice, very projecting on skin. I really enjoy this fragrance. I don't know if there's even cocoa in here or anything like that, but I get a little bit of cocoa in this as well. There's a little bit of spice, but overall a very seductive fragrance that I know that I will be enjoying. Again, this one can be worn, I believe, in like the spring. It can also be worn in the summertime, but very, very light. I would be very cautious about how I spray this one. But again, this one is Sad Cypress. The final one that I want to talk about from the Dreamhouse line is going to be Ghost Dance. So Ghost Dance is this blueberry, or it's either, no, blackberry, I apologize. Not blueberry, but it's blackberry. It has like whiskey, tobacco, oud, costus, musk. There's also sugar, coumarin, and cocoa in Ghost Dance. So what I get from that is the imagery of probably smoking a cigar and having some sort of a blueberry whiskey. I don't know if anybody's ever had like whiskey and maybe put like a little bit of blue or blackberry or anything like that in it, but it basically reminds me of that. This one is a very good tobacco-ish fragrance. I think it's more so on the tobacco leaf rather than it just being tobacco itself, but overall something great to either test to try, but I think you really love this if you love any of Vincent's tobacco-based fragrances. Again, this one is Ghost Dance. The next fragrance that I want to talk about are two different fragrances that I got from my trip to Disney. So I want to show like a small excerpt of me going to the Magic Kingdom for the first time. So looking at all of the things that I did, I couldn't show everything that I did, but Luckily for me, the lines weren't that long, but it was a very enjoyable trip. I really did enjoy it, and I ended up going to Bloomingdale's when I was in Florida. I also ended up going to Neiman Marcus, met a couple of subscribers slash fragrance friends. So shout out to you guys. I really do appreciate you both for all that you did, for just like kind of showing me all of these different fragrances that I had not smelled before, and then also just talking to me in general. I love to talk to people about fragrances. So if you see me in public, just, you know, strike up a conversation. I would love to talk about fragrances. But two of the fragrances that I purchased, one is Tygar, and that one is a Bvlgari Le Gemme, I believe is how it's said, fragrance. So Tygar, when I first smelled it, I knew that there were some similarities to two different fragrances that I have in my collection. The two that I'm talking about are Limouset and then also Afternoon Swim. Both fragrances are by far some of my favorites from the line. And then mixed together, I was like blown away. But this fragrance, I think, adds a little bit of something different to the mix, rather than it being a specific like 2-to-1 or 1-to-1 ratio, because I actually tried to make the ratio and I couldn't. But this really does a great job of taking that and then kind of spinning it into its own like its own fragrance. And then these fragrances also, Afternoon Swim by itself is in the 300s, and Limouset by itself is in the it's like 280s. So you're getting two different fragrances into one that's like 349, I believe. This was, and you can probably find it on discounters. I know it's very difficult to find this fragrance in general because it's such a loved fragrance. This one is a spring and summer banger, but let me give you some of the notes for this fragrance. This fragrance only has 3 notes that it shows, but I'm sure there are more. But it's grapefruit, Ambroxan, and wood notes. Again, I get this beautiful sweetness. There's also like a small hint of tobacco and woods is what I'm getting from this. I do get the grapefruit up top, but I get something else from it. It almost has like an ambergris type of smell to it. That's why I said it really reminds me of Afternoon Swim that has ambergris in it. But overall, a very nice fragrance. The bottles are beautiful, and it has a magnetic cap. So the next fragrance that I purchased was Orom. So Orom is a new fragrance from the line. This one is a 2022 fragrance that came out. The other one, Tygar, is a 2016, I believe. But this fragrance includes the notes of, let me grab those. This one is going to be Bourbon Vanilla up top, the mid notes of Siam Benzoin, and then base notes of Agarwood. But again, like the other fragrance, this one reminds me of Carlisle on the dry down. So I'm not a fan of Carlisle in probably the first 20 minutes of the fragrance. I think it's very off-putting, and honestly, I try to spray it on me and then I walk around and try to figure out, you know, what else to do to kind of get my mind off of it. And then it gets to the point where I enjoy it, where this fragrance here starts there. So this starts where Carlisle's dry down begins. This fragrance, again, is a very, very nice fragrance. From the vanilla and the benzoin, I almost feel like I get a tobacco-ish vibe from it, which is, I would say, more of like a tobacco leaf-ish as well. But very, very nice fragrance overall. And both of these fragrances on my skin last about 8 to 10 hours, which I think is very good for both of these fragrances at 100 ml. So again, this one is Orom. The next fragrance that I picked up when I was out there, well, I was going to pick it up when I was out there until I found it on discounters. So I don't know if anybody is signed up for the Max Aromas text messages, but you should. The reason why is because you get so many different deals, and I ended up getting a great deal on Haltane. I ended up picking up this bottle for way less than what retail was. Retail is somewhere close to $400. I definitely did not get it for that. Thank you again, Max Aroma, for the hookup. Really do appreciate it. I believe it was something that they were sending out to everybody. So if you had an opportunity to jump on this one, I definitely would have. This fragrance reminds me of two fragrances that I truly enjoy. One is from Initio, and that is Oud for Greatness. And then the other one is from Parfums de Marly, and that one is Cologne. So mix those together and you get this beauty right here, Haltane. So Haltane has the notes of the following. Let me grab those because I know I'm also a notes person, and most people that also want to know about a fragrance also love knowing about the notes as well. So Haltane has the top notes of lavender, bergamot, clary sage, and in the mid you're going to get saffron and praline, and in the base you're going to get Agarwood, oud, and cedar. So I sprayed this on my hand earlier, and I wanted to kind of get a bit of a refresher on this one. So I'm going to spray this one on now again. And what a beautiful fragrance. Up top, again, you're getting a little bit of that saffron. The clary sage, I think, is really, really dominant in this fragrance for me. The lavender, as you smell it closer, you get a little bit of that mix of the bergamot and the praline as well, which makes this very beautiful. But then the cedar really pops into this fragrance. Overall, a beautiful, very nice fragrance that I will wear in the springtime. Also, this is going to be a autumn and winter beast. So if you haven't gotten a chance, I would again sign up for those text messages from Max Aroma. I will try to leave that information down below, or you can go to maxaroma.com. They have it on the site immediately when you get there. But the next fragrance that I got from Max Aroma is a fragrance that I have been looking for the longest time, and this one is Shims. I am so happy that I was able to get this fragrance, and again, for a great price. This fragrance forever has been so high up there. I think Shims and Neff's was like $450 and Shims was like $350 or something like that. But super happy to get this in my collection. The notes for Shim include top notes of Turkish rose, geranium, cardamom. In the mid, you're gonna get cypriol oil, osmanthus, and amber. And then in the base, you're gonna get leather, elemi, and vetiver. This fragrance to me screams being dressed up, like suited and booted. You are super sexy, looking really nice, going into the office. You walk past somebody, they're following you. You're gonna have to fight them off. You may have to even go to HR and tell them that they're following you. So this fragrance right here is bar none super sexy. Get your nose on this if you get a chance to. I know I went to Neiman Marcus. They actually have this in the Oak Brook Neiman Marcus that you can go and smell. I think it's going there for like $500. It's crazy. But this fragrance is so nice. I'm gonna spray this again on me because I love the way it smells on skin. It's out of this world great. But again, this one is Shims. Whew. Okay, have to get a hold of myself. The final fragrance that I want to talk about is a fragrance that I got from Louis Vuitton, one of my absolute favorites from the line now, Les Sables Roses. If you haven't gotten your hands on any rose fragrances and you feel that you're not a rose lover, I think you should really check this one out. This one is such an elegant rose and it's so good. It doesn't smell old. There are certain rose fragrances that have an old smell to them, but this one is overall a very nice fragrance. I don't know if you're familiar or not, but Louis Vuitton fragrances, unfortunately, you cannot get them on discount. You have to get them for what they are. You have to go in the Louis Vuitton store, and only certain ones have fragrances in them. But I was lucky enough to get this fragrance. It was the last one that they had in stock, so very, very excited about that. Again, this fragrance includes the notes of rose, Bulgarian rose, Agarwood, ambergris, saffron, and black pepper. This one is absolutely a banger of a fragrance. This one is Les Sables Roses. Actually forgot, I have one more fragrance. I told you guys I went crazy and bought way too many fragrances, but I think I'm set for life, of course, as usual. But overall, just so happy about the fragrances that I purchased. This one is Bahar from Spirit of Dubai. So I ended up again getting this one from Max Aroma. Super deal. Something that I could not pass up. What I love about Spirit of Dubai fragrances is that it comes with this carrying case. So you can travel with this and then it locks in place. And the fragrance sits inside, and then it has these crystals that are on the top. And as you look around, it has like the artwork. This fragrance is probably one of the easiest fragrances that I have from the Spirit of Dubai to wear. The notes in this one is like unreal. There's sea notes, there's citrus, spicy, ozonic notes, watery notes. There's so many different fruits. There's sandalwood, vanilla, jasmine. It has cherry, green notes, plum, raspberry. There's also oud in here, precious woods, patchouli, vetiver, musk, and immortelle. I didn't want to read all the notes. I will leave all of that information in the description. If you want to read through them, you're more than welcome to. But this one is the epitome of fresh and clean. Like, I love spraying this one on. It almost has remnants of if Acqua di Gio, the original one, if it was mixed with maybe, I'd say the black one, but then turned into, I would say, turned into kind of a slight gourmand a little bit. I think that's what you would get within this fragrance. This one sits in their 250 line for Nabil. But overall, a very nice fragrance. I think this is perfect if you've never had any niche fragrances before and it's your first time jumping into them. I would say this is a very good fragrance to start off with. It's not going to be off-putting by no means. It's just very fresh, ozonic, watery, and you can wear it pretty much, I'd say, throughout the year. So overall, an excellent fragrance to check out. But again, thank you all so much. I really do appreciate you for checking out the video, for coming back, giving me time to get back. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back with some new videos coming out soon. I just want to get a little bit more healthier, and I'll like get my voice back and everything. So again, you all have a blessed day and take care.